Kelly Price with Healthy Fit, and welcome to Stretch, Mobility, and Recovery. Today we'll be using our Rolga tools to work on spinal flexibility. You'll need your Rolga and your activator for today's session. If you don't have these tools, you can use any foam roller and a yoga, lacrosse, golf ball instead of the activator. We're going to start with our foot fitness on the floor. As we start here, we're going to start at the heel, pressing into the heel, quarter turn and press off, working our way up through the arch and the balls of the foot and back down the other side. You can also use your thumbs to press through and massage in that way as well. Let's do that on the other foot, shall we? Starting at the heel, working our way up. And working our way back down the other side. Coming to a standing position now. Placing our toes over the front of the ball, stretching out the foot. Working our way up through the ball of the foot and the arch. We can rock side to side or front to back here. Moving through the heel. I've been wearing high heels the last couple days, and so this feels amazing on my feet. Let's do that on the other side. Toes over the front of the ball, working through the arch and the ball of the foot. And through the heel here. Set that aside. Now that we've stretched out our feet a little bit, let's do a little bit of foot exercise before we move into the spine. This will help in some of the exercises because your feet are the first point in the kinetic chain and we want to have stability there. Let's lift the toes, spread them out, and lower them on the floor, gripping them in. As you grip your foot into the floor here and ground, you should feel even balance through your heels, the balls of your feet, and each one of those toes. Now let's just lift that big toe up and down, lift and lower, lifting and lowering it. Rocking from the front or the inside of your foot to the outside of the foot. Pronate and supinate the foot. Noticing if you have any tightness here. Hold it where it feels the most challenging and just stretch it. Keep breathing and relax. We're going to come back down on the floor now to do some SMR work on our upper back and shoulders. We're going to start at the mid back, or roughly the bra line. Your spine is going to be in the center of your Rolga. Head is supported by your hands. Slowly roll up. I feel things moving around in there. And roll it back. And down. Noticing if you have any tension areas or trigger points that are particularly sensitive. We're going to hit those with the activator next. Slowly roll up. Set that aside. Taking our activator, we're going to target those trigger points. So you might need to move it around a little bit. I'm going to place it where I feel like I had some tension and roll onto it. Oh yes. Breathe into that space. Nice deep breaths. Going to move it to another spot. Again, breathing into that space. If you don't get it quite right, make an adjustment and till you find that trigger point and breathe. So we're going to feel that tension just melt away. Let's do that on the other side, shall we? Place the ball and roll on top of it. Now, if the activator ball is too much pressure for you, you can always use the soft hand and foot massage balls for this because they're more squishy, a little bit more forgiving. One more deep breath. Let's make an adjustment. One more deep breath. Let's remove that activator. Moving into our next exercise. We're going to incorporate the Rolga in some of our flexibility exercises today. Placing the Rolga under your forearms close to your wrists, laying on your back. Moving through a back extension here. So your face is facing the ground. My nose is actually touching the floor. As I come up, gentle spinal stretch. Exhale. Slow and controlled. So as we do this, you're gonna feel that arch in your back, but I want you to keep that nice neutral spine, like you have a string coming up from your head. You're pressing through your quads, maybe squeezing those glutes. Shoulders away from your ears. One more. If you need a little child's pose here, let's stretch our back in the other direction real quickly before we go into our next stretch. Same movement that we just did with an arm opening exercise. So we're going to open our arm, our chest opener. Coming up into that extension, open your arm. Now, if this is too much for your elbow or for your arm strength, or it's causing stress on your shoulder, drop to your elbow and open up. Come back down. Stretch, open, option, drop to that elbow, and roll it back down. Let's do that one more time on each side. Open. Are you pressing your quads into the floor? And relax. Pressing back into that child's pose. And come on up for our first sun salutation. Coming to the front of your mat or the front of your space. Big inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, shoulders back. Exhale, step it out to plank. On your knees or on your toes. Elbows in, coming down towards the floor of your mat. Nice and slow. Up dog. Shoulders away from your ears. See where that spinal flexion comes in, even here. Toes under, Pressing into our down dog, pressing our heels into the floor. Let's pedal those legs right and left, right and left. Back into our plank. Step it in and roll it up. Onto our neck SMR work here. Grab that activator once more. I like using the hand or the finger holds to do the release on the side of my neck. The amount of pressure that you put is really personal here. Do it feels good. Now I'm gonna take my activator and just work a little bit on the tops of the shoulders. Kind of right where if you wear bras, your bra strap would be. I can feel the tension right there. All right, other side. All right. In a cross-legged seated position, stacking your spine one vertebrae on top of the other. You have a string coming from your head, starting with neck semicircles. So look at your right shoulder and then gently relax your head around, looking at your left shoulder in reverse. No pressure on the neck. Just getting it warmed up. All right. Now drop your head to one side. Feel the stretch in the side of your neck. If you would like a little bit more, gently apply just a little bit of pressure to extend that stretch. Let's do that on the other side. Drop your head. If you'd like to add that extra stretch, we want to do this very gently. It doesn't take much, just putting your hand on your head and applying that little bit of pressure. Now take your roll gun. We're going to activate some trigger points on the neck, some pressure points that are going to feel amazing. So rolling back, I'm going to roll all the way up and rest my head on that roll gun. This is a great reclined position because you're going to feel it releasing pressure at the base of your skull there. Doesn't that feel amazing? Just a couple deep breaths here. All right, roll it up. Our next movement using our rolga. Similar starting position that we had for our others, that our rolga, I'm going to turn this way a little bit. Limited space in the hotel, but we can make it work. Our rolga is on our forearms, right below our wrists, neutral spine, so we're close to the floor, coming up into that spinal flexion. Look over your right and your left and release. Inhale up, nice long line through your spine, look right and left and release. Remember, it's like you have that string coming up from your head, shoulders are away from our ears, right and left. Release. We're going to do that one more time. Pressing our quads into the floor as we look left and right and release. Set that rolga aside. Come on up to a standing position for our next sun salutation. Big inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, shoulders back. Exhale, step it out to plank. On your knees or toes, I want that nice long line through the spine. Soft elbows. We never lock our elbows or our joints. Coming back into a crouch and drop your knees into child's pose. Pushing your glutes onto the tops of your heels, reaching those arms forward. Reach those arms as far forward as you can so that you feel that good stretch from your pinkies all the way down to your hip bone. I also want you to relax your head towards the floor. Take nice deep breaths here. One more. Come on back to your plank. Those nice long deep breaths that we took help lower your blood pressure and slow your heart rate. Step it back in and roll it up. It's a great relaxation technique now. So our next activity or stretch exercise is going to be a kind of a bow pose, holding the rolga. Coming back down to our belly. The rolga is going to be, extend your arms here. You need a little bit of space because we're going to lift here. Option 1, extending back, lifting that rolga off your body. Feel that spinal stretch. Option 2, lift your legs at the same time. Squeeze those butt cheeks, squeeze the glutes, feel your lower core activated, and relax. Now, because we're also holding the rolga, I can also feel it in my triceps. Do you feel that? Squeeze and release. One more. Lift, squeeze, and release. You can set the rolga aside. One arm in front of you. Bending one leg, grabbing on to the top of the foot. Now, if your quads are really tight, you can use a band or a strap for this. I am traveling and did not bring that for today. Now, pressing up, I'm gonna bring my arm closer, getting that spinal stretch. Also stretching the calves, or the quads rather. Let's do that on the other side. Place the arm in front, forearm posture. Extend the other arm, reaching back towards the top of your bent leg. Press up. Option, grab both legs into your bow pose. Press. And release. Pressing up. Our next sun salutation is going to stretch out your back. We always do when we're doing spinal flexion. We do extension in the other direction to stretch it out. And we're going to do that right here with our sun salutation. Inhale, exhale into forward fold. We're going to stay right here. Allow that head to drop. You can cross those arms together or place your hands on the floor. Nice deep breaths. Let's sway those hips right and left, right and left. Like you're making a smiley face with your butt cheeks, yes? And roll it up. Great job. Our next exercise, we're gonna move the rolga down to our thighs, still laying prone on the floor face down. So the rolga is gonna start on our thighs and we're in a forearm plank here. Our arms are not connected here. We wanna open up the chest, so make them nice and wide. Elbows below the shoulders for support. We can balance those legs here on the floor, pressing our tops of our feet or balance above. pressing, lifting up into that up dog and lower. Nice neutral spine. Again, think that string coming from the top of your head. Shoulders away from your ears. Squeezing those butt cheeks. Squeezing those quads. And lower. One more. Let's remove the roga, flipping over into a staff pose. So my feet are flexed in front of me, making sure my sits bones are evenly on the floor. Big inhale up. Reach like you're handing me a package. Reach to the front. I'm not rounding my spine yet. Shoulders away from the ears. Now you can round your spine. Drop your head as close as you can to your knees. You could also use a strap around your feet if you have one, or I didn't even think of it until just now, a towel. If you had a towel, I have a towel at the hotel. You have to make use with the things that you have. If you don't have anything, you could always just pull down towards your quads or your calves here. And roll it up. That felt good. Our next exercise, we are going to be supine, laying face up with the roga in our mid back, roughly where your bra strap would be. Our legs are bent, shoulder width apart, feet pressing into the floor. Hands are supporting the head here. Taking our upper back into that flexion. Dip your head towards the ground, chest towards the ceiling. And up. In a crunch. Inhale nice and slow. Exhale, crunch it up. Inhale nice and slow. Using that negative resistance to help with that core contraction. Yes, we're doing core work and spine at the same time. Our core wraps all the way around 360 degrees, including our lower back muscles. So it's important to strengthen them to reduce lower back pain and help with our mobility. We're gonna do 4 more of those. Nice strong exhale at the top as you come into that crunch will help activate your core better and get more effective use out of this exercise for that. Now as we come back and relax, I'd like for you to open your arms into a chest opener here. I'm gonna roll my roga a little bit lower. Now, if you feel like you're dropping your head too much, we can always use one arm to extend and then switch. But I want you to relax your neck here. Shoulders away from the ears. And roll it up. Let's remove the roga. Going into a glute bridge. Our feet are still shoulder width apart. Hands are beside us. Press up, out, in, down. Now this move, we have a neutral spine. Our back should be relatively flat, like a long line from our tailbone all the way up to our head. Pressing our knees out, in, down, up, out, in, down, up, out, in, down, up, out, in, down. 2 more. Creating strength and stability through that spine. Now drop down. Bring your knees into your chest. Nice deep breath. Option 2, open up into happy baby. I'm going to rotate just so you can see me a little bit better. Bring your hands towards your feet. Again, this would be another one that you could use a strap, or if I would have thought of it in advance, a towel. If not, you can grab onto your calves here or the back of your legs. I'm going to grab one to the tops of my feet on the inside. I can pull my feet closer to my body to open up the hip flexors a little bit more. I'm going to massage my spine a little bit by rocking side to side here. And release. Rolling it up. Bend one leg, bringing it in close to the thigh here. Flexing the foot, nice tall posture again. Inhale, we're in our Janu S. Single leg forward fold here. Pulling our body towards that foot. Again, holding onto the calf. You can use a strap or a towel around your foot. Nice deep breath. One more. Let's switch to the other side, shall we? Big inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Pulling in towards the calf or the foot. Using that band or strap around that foot as needed. One more deep breath. Come to a comfortable seated position here. Big inhale up. Exhale, hands behind the ears, opening the chest. Let's bring those hands behind us, balancing them gently on the floor. We're going to lean back, soft elbows, opening the chest, slightly arching the back. Overhead side stretch, reach up and over. Thank you for joining me so much today for stretch, mobility, and recovery. I hope your spine feels amazing. Feel free to send me or tag me in your post-workout selfie at Kella Price, at Healthy Fitness Life Coach, and at SMR Stretch. Stay bendy, stay mobile. I'll see you next time.